Hello and welcome to Baseplate Reviews. So it may look like I was just about to do a review of this Bricklink camping adventure set, but actually this is more of a city update because yes, I do want to review that, but currently on the build table we've got these modulars set up and they're not going to provide the right backdrop for the camping adventure set. I think that the campground that I've got set up at the back of my city there, up on the window ledge, is probably better, and because of that it probably makes sense to get those modulars back into the city itself. So currently we've got a few gaps just at the back there, and also really where Andrea's modern mansion is, we've just got that sat not on base plates, and it's basically just been sat there because it used to be sat up where the campground is now. So I've actually got 4 plates of space, so 1, 2 there, so base plates worth of space I should say, and 2 there where Andrea's modern mansion's sitting. But we've actually got 4.5 base plates worth of modular buildings, so 2 halves for the bookshop, so one for the police station, 1.5 for Assembly Square, and then a further one for the Sanctum Sanctorum. So still missing half a base plate worth of space in the city without taking something out, but fortunately I do have this little kind of construction zone just here, which is half a base plate worth of space. Actually it might be a full base plate. I'm trying to work out whether this is connected, so where the river is, or whether I built that on a separate half base plate. No, I did build it all on one base plate, so I'm going to have to think about that, maybe transfer what I've got built for the river onto a half base plate, or potentially just move some stuff around. So a little bit of work to do. The other thing that I do need to do is the Tudor Corner modular. Currently you might be able to see I haven't actually moved the plates around, I haven't changed them up to match up with the rest of the city, so I've got dual curbs there, so I just need to take that out of the city to start with and actually change up the curbs to make it compatible with the rest of my city. To show you what I mean about the curbs needing to be modified for the Tudor Corner, I've just pulled out one of my road plates plus the police station. I've pulled that out so it's alongside the Tudor Corner, and what you'll be able to see is I actually build my curbs into the road plate. So this is a full base plate, so 26 studs worth of road, and then on either side 3 studs that are the curb and the pavement, the sidewalk. And what that means is that we end up with plenty of space to put minifigures and stage stuff, so normally around about 8 or so studs of space including the curb, whereas when I move this along to the unmodified Tudor Corner, well, other than it being on a Mills plate, you can see we've got the Tudor Corner's curb, then a couple of studs of sidewalk and the curb again. So pretty simple. All I'll do is I'll peel some of the tile off of there and replace it really with 2x2 dark grey tiles. I've also got some jumper tiles over there. The one thing I will need to do with this one is just try to include the bollards just there that are at the corner, so I'll move those out a little bit further and just modify this a little bit. I might still keep those actually on the Tudor Corner plate, but just move them a stud further out and then still maintain the curbs being built into the roads, but not the bollards. I think I'll keep that actually with the Tudor Corner, but that should be pretty quick to do, and I'll do that now.
Some people are really keen on keeping their sidewalks exactly as their Lego modular standard, so the tree goes there, the lamppost goes there. I'm not really interested in that. I'm just trying to keep this to the same standard across my city.
There we go then, all changed up. So basically a load of tiles and a couple of plates changed up for 2x2 jumpers and 2x2 tiles. And this is what we took out. So you might be able to see I've even taken out those bits which act as drains, and that's because if I bring the road along, you should see that actually I even build the drainage into the roads themselves, or the road plates I should say. And yeah, by doing that, I think we've got it all into the format that we use in the city. So this is ready to go back into the city. The big thing to decide is actually where all of these modulars go. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a choice to make. So decisions about where all of this stuff goes. And I think with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take pretty much everything out of this downtown core, apart from the road plates and the park. So I'm going to actually take all of the vehicles out. You can see it's pretty much gridlock there now with how many vehicles we've got in the city, but also all of the plates which have buildings on. I'll also take out Andrea's Modern Mansion, that definitely won't be in here. And we'll just see what we're working with, how much space we've got, and we can take a look at all these buildings and decide which ones look good beside each other. Yeah, go from there and then get them placed all back into the city. So if you've ever wondered what a city looks like without any buildings in it, we've got the answer just here. So I've taken all of the plates out that had buildings sat on them. So we had 5.5 plates worth of space just at the back there. We've got 3 plates worth of space just here, and then 2 plates just there. So that totals up to 10.5 base plates. Unfortunately, in terms of buildings, I've got 11 base plates worth. So 3 base plates worth that are customs, so mocks, mods, so 2 just there, and then the big Friends Community Centre mod just there. And then I've got 8 official sets, or 8 official sets worth of base plates. Of course, the museum and Assembly Square just there, each take up a base plate and a half, so they're 3 between them. So I've got to try and fit 11 base plates worth into 10.5. So the option really is whether I just take out the full base plate there for now. It will mean losing a bit of the river just for a little while, or potentially I can stick one of the buildings up into the Chinatown section. Maybe one of those custom ones, those mocks, could fit up there. But anyway, first things first, actually I need to get all of these vehicles taken out of the city. I think you can see it really is gridlock at the moment. So it actually might benefit from a little bit of a purge, just a little bit of taking things out. So let's do that and then see just how bare this looks without even vehicles in it. Now with all the vehicles removed, apart from these few construction vehicles down in the bottom corner, you can really see the layout of the roads. So the shaping's very much like a torii gate from Japan, apart from just that top corner there where it's not a road, it's a pedestrianised section. But other than that, if you imagine that it used to be a road, then yeah, very much the shape of a torii gate is probably the best way I can describe it. So the good thing about getting everything out there is it allowed me to get in and clean. So I've got this little handheld vacuum in the shape of a gun really, and that's pretty good for Lego cities. I got that from Costco, so the brand is Fantech, and actually really useful for this type of thing rather than having a big vacuum. So being able to give it a bit of a clean, and now we can really get to work in placing all of the buildings. With regards to the vehicles and where they went, well, really just down on the floor for now. So they're all down there, and a few of the minifigs and stuff as well, just out of the way, but ready to be placed back in the city, at least some of them, once we get the buildings back there. The other thing that doing this really emphasises is actually just how much space the train tracks do use up. It's really nice to have them, but this is pretty basic train tracks that are just round the perimeter of the city, and you can see how many plates they're taking up, including the station just here, versus how much is actually left for the buildings and the roads in the city. Not a lot really, so I don't really have the trains going round often enough. I need to check the batteries on them and get them going round, but I do think that their time is limited unless I get another row of tables, and then I'm really starting to make it pretty narrow for myself in terms of getting around here. So yeah, it's a tricky situation, but maybe I'll need to stop buying so much Lego. The next thing I need to do is actually decide which sets look good beside each other. There's some that are pretty much designed to be beside each other, like my mock grocery store and Lego store, because they actually form this little alleyway just there. You can see the aircon unit all fits just right, so they're likely to go beside each other. But other than that, in terms of the modulars that I've got the Natural History Museum, the Downtown Diner, the Tudor Corner, the Sanctum Sanctorum, Assembly Square, the police station, and then I've got the bookshop, which is effectively two half modulars. Now with the police station, that's going to need to be paired up in the city with this plate just here.
It's from this point on in the video that I make repeated references to this pair of trees pairing up with the police station, whereas in actual fact they always came with the Sanctum Sanctorum. Just forgive me for my lack of attention to detail, and apologies because I keep on saying it
when I get to it. So just there, because I've actually moved the trees that would have been on the police station's plate onto the road plate. It doesn't mean that the police station can't move, it just means that that road plate needs to go wherever that goes. So yeah, a few decisions to make. What I had before was the museum used to originally be up here facing the park, and I think that worked pretty well, but I'm going to try a few combinations out and then get it all placed into the city. So for now at least, the set that's all by itself is the bookshop side of the bookshop modular. So if you don't know, that one splits into two different parts. Effectively it's two half modulars, and that means that the city is looking like this. So starting over at the west side of the city, I've got my custom grocery store and the Lego store mock, plus the other half of the bookshop, so the residential. Then we've got that little pedestrianised section and the Downtown Diner. I think that works fairly well beside the Friends Community Centre mock. Then I've got the museum, the police station, and the Sanctum Sanctorum. I haven't yet moved that plate with the trees that should go right outside the police station. It does work kind of okay with the museum, but I will move that, change it up a little bit and put it just there, or at least move the trees. Then if we move around, I've got the other corner building other than the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is the Tudor Corner even I should say, beside Assembly Square, so two really good modulars there. And then I've just got my little coffee shop just down there. I think it works in terms of a layout. We've got the train station just there. Quite often near train stations you do have a police station, plus you've got the pub. I know it's not officially a pub, but we know that the Tudor Corner is a pub, 100%. And of course it all looks really nice at the moment because I've got no vehicles there, so it's looking really kind of fresh. But I think I do need to put the vehicles back. But first things first is to get all of that out of the window ledge, and then I can at least be ready to do the review of the Bricklink set. Good, I'm all ready with my Bricklink review. Now I've got the backdrop, I think that should work pretty nicely. And there's, like I say, the city looking nice and fresh. I've even got birch books just sat over to the side there, so not really in the city, not the downtown section at least. But I think it's looking pretty good. Do let me know whether you think I've made a mistake in terms of placement of these buildings, and you think that something else might be better suited to go beside the museum. Obviously the community centre is towering over that, but I think it goes well beside the diner. Then we've got this section just here. Of course you can see the open back of the Chinese restaurant just there, so that really does need to be modded just to make it complete and not look open back to the city. And then just down here is the coffee shop just being dwarfed by Assembly Square. I mean, I can sort that out by just making this into a bigger building. It would need to be another level taller, but that's going to be a bit of work. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to put all of the vehicles back, or at least some of them, over the next couple of days. Just work out where I want them to be placed, and hopefully this is going to be looking pretty nice until I decide to change it up again. Definitely likely in the future by giving ourselves a load more space by taking out the train tracks. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then please do leave a like and consider subscribing. And with that, I'll say, as ever, be good.